choosing the right locations. Okay, like using the heat map, we can understand, and this should actually be like choosing the right locations and the right markets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this heat map tool here, and let's just talk due diligence for a second. And if I'm trying to pick a market to go into, and let's say, hold on one second, guys. Looks like we're doing some testing here. Let me go on to this next page here. Okay, so this is a remodeling company here. All right, so this is a remodeling company in Dallas, and you can kind of see that this company is they're doing really well, right? Look at this heat map. So just for those of you guys who haven't seen this, this is the term basement remodeling for this Google My Business. So every Google My Business has a unique identifier, and we can use that identifier to find their rankings across the city. So that's what this heat map is doing, is it's saying, like, if you had done a search at this location, you would be 4th. Over here, you would be 2nd. And it looks like almost all the other locations are going to be 1st. So you would show up 1st in the map area. So this is all about the Google My Business or Google Business Profile map area. And so it's telling us our ranking. So if we're going into Dallas and we're trying to make a decision, for whatever reason, we've decided that basement remodeling is a niche that we're interested in Dallas. And to be honest, I don't know if Dallas has basements, but this is just a test, right? So pretend that it does if it doesn't. So we want to know who the top dog is in town, because the analogy that I always give is like, look, I'm 6'2", and if I were to go and play basketball against people that were, my own age and my own size, I'm probably going to win some, lose some. But if we choose the right games, if I go and I find 3rd graders to play against, it's going to be hard for a 3rd grader to beat me when I'm 6'2", right? That's a huge advantage. If we choose the right area, we get to choose 3rd graders. And unlike a basketball game with 3rd graders, they can't tell us that we can't play. We can play whatever city and whatever niche we want to. So choosing the right niche is huge in your Google My Business game. As you heard Biren say earlier on this call, like, he doesn't even have a website attached. He doesn't have a phone number, but because he's chosen such low-hanging fruit, some of the stuff is already ranking in the map pack for him, right? Just because he chose the right niche. So choosing the right location is huge. And this heat map tool is excellent at doing that. We've set it up because we have built this for our agency. As I mentioned at the beginning of this call, like, we have adjusted this because we want to be able to understand what the market looks like and who the best person is. So just because this person, whoever this is, we have the averages here. So this is ideal remodeling. So if this is the area that I was trying to target for my Google My Business, this is the #1 company to consider. They have an average score of 1.04. So if you were to take all the points on this and divide by, like, add them up and divide by the number of points, then you would come back with 1.04. We can see in the Northwest, Northeast, Southwest, they're just ones. So they own like 75% of the map. Well, they're ranking 1st in 75% of the map. And then there's a couple spots in the Northwest where they're not. So that's why they have that 1.17. Okay. So we know that they are #1. That does, just because they're all ones, that does not mean that this is a bad market to go into. These scores are relative to everyone else in the market. So if this company, if we go and look and we do our due diligence and they're terrible, but they're still able to rank 1st, then we know that, like, if we do better than terrible, we can overtake them. So I don't want you guys to be discouraged when you see this. In a place like Dallas, we know that Dallas is like a big populated, wealthy city, right? So this is hard to achieve what they've done here. And usually don't see this. But again, we're looking at basement remodeling, and basements may or may not exist in Dallas. So what I want to do now is I'm going to dive in and I just want to look. So I would start to do my due diligence. I want to see how many reviews they have. They have 23. I'm going to see how many pictures they have, which I think it now shows you if you hover. Yeah, they have 752 photos. That's our ranking factor. It may not be the biggest one, but it matters. I'm also going to look. They have a Google business site. So Google business sites, I feel like they get like this little extra bump from Google, but you can kind of see they don't have a lot of content on here. It's really hard in my mind to like, this looks like a terrible site, but I see this consistently where these Google sites seem to outrank other people. So build a Google business site. They're free. Like, it doesn't cost anything. They're easy to do. So I would go through, I would look at the backlink. So identifying the right markets, that's point number one. And that's how this tool can help you. So it's going to help you choose the right markets. It's also, let's look at another company. So I can flip this heat map. It doesn't cost me any searches. Look at these guys. Actually, let's go down the list a little bit more. Let's look at this Black Line Renovations. Imagine this is who we're trying to rank. And now I want to know where I should put, like, okay, I'm not ranking well. One strategy is I could get another GMB at a different part of town. So maybe this one in the Northeast is a location that I should set up another Google My Business. So the first one is choosing the right markets and locations. So that's point number one on how we can improve things.